I know from doing a couple of Google searches that millions of people, hundreds of thousands, have applied your work in a variety of different ways and created tools and processes and even tips and techniques that they've found successful. Are there any particular tools or techniques that you really like to apply your tools, to apply the concepts in GTD?
Well, all you really need, I say all you really need, mostly what you really need are a good list manager in some way. You need to keep essentially something that allows you to park this information in appropriate places. You know, I call them orienting maps. If you've looked at your calendar in the last 24 hours, you were orienting yourself using a map. A map is an orientation tool, locates you about this. So these lists just become maps, so really all you need is something like a map room. You need something that holds the maps I need to see. Hey, I'm talking to my life partner, what are the things I need to talk to him or her about? And so you have a map. So you just need lists for that. And people, low-tech, mid-tech, and high-tech kind of ways to make lists. Low-tech would be simply keeping things in a folder. You know, that you open up and each thing in there is something you need to do, buy at the store or phone call to make or whatever. A mid-tech way to do it would be some sort of a paper-based list manager, like a planner, loose leaf notebook. I used one for 20 years. Those are great ways to manage lists, simply, you know, in a simple loose leaf notebook. And then there's the high-tech, you know, kind of list manager and all those apps out there now for list management. There's hundreds of them. Somebody did an app store search last week for GTD, and they got over 700 hits of tools that basically are saying, hey, you know, you like getting things done, use my tool. And basically they're just list managers with different kind of bells and whistles. So anything you have, whatever you're most comfortable with now, however you would make a list now is probably the best tool that you should use. And if you want to explore, you know, the more high-tech stuff, that's fine. But, you know, that can be pretty overwhelming out there unless you're already familiar with it and comfortable in that world.
Makes sense. You know, once one of the companies I worked with was looking at assessments. And they knew that I'd studied assessments and had taken quite a few of them myself. And they said, well, which one is the best? And I said, well, which one are you using now? And they said, well, we're not using one. And I said, well, then just start with one. Pick one and see how that works. And I'm hearing you say the same thing. Pick a method that probably lines up with your natural skills and abilities. If you're going to look at a high-tech method, pick one that you're already familiar with. Don't let the use of the tool be the daunting factor in getting started.
Yeah, a lot of people want the new because they never made the first new really work. So once you really get this model and this methodology, you can make any of those tools work.